Great. Welcome everyone to our November edition of the Surface Interval Sisterhood. I'm Chev. I'm going to be your host tonight for our call, all about how to pack for a dive trip. I'm so excited to have you here. Thanks for joining, and here we go. So I want to tell you a little bit about me before we get started. I've met a lot of you, but my name is Siobhan. Everyone calls me Chev, and I have been working with Myra and Mar Hosted Trips for almost 3 years now. But I've been traveling since 2021. I left in February 2021 from Canada, and I've been traveling as a nomad on and off since then. I've done all of it by myself. I've been a solo traveler the whole time, and all of it's been diving related. I also work full-time for Myra online, so I've been working remotely. I carry my full office setup with me everywhere I go. And I've had a home base on and off, so mostly I carry all of my stuff all the time. I don't get to repack very often. So that's the perspective I'm coming at you with all of my tips. And a little bit about the sisterhood. Our goal with this program is to fill the gaps in diving education, learn as much as we can from each other, and to stay connected in between dive trips. So we call this the Surface Interval Sisterhood. It's our monthly digital version of the Mar Maids Dive School. We offer courses like this one, which is a tea time where we're just hanging out, sharing knowledge and chatting with each other. We also offer like real certifications like turtle conservation, shark conservation, nitrox, where you can get an actual certification. And then we've been working a lot with conservation with Danny, our on-site marine biologist, who has been teaching a lot of conservation classes for us. So you can check all that out on our website. And here's a little more about the Mar Maids Dive School. We have this digital program, and then as well as our in-person dive school, which we host a few times a year. We did 6 retreats this year in 2025, which is pretty cool. We had 6 in-person dive school trainings around the world. A little bit about this call tonight. We are talking about dive travel, but the ideas I want to share with you are applicable to any kind of travel, of course. Also, as I shared with you about my history, my tips are for packing light and for staying organized. That's not always going to apply to you. Maybe you don't really care about how many bags you have or how much they weigh, and you might not be comfortable with them, but just to give you some ideas for things you can work with. And I'm focusing specifically on packing, not general travel tips. So I'm trying very hard to stay on topic, but if you do have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat or save them for the Q&A at the end. And just some housekeeping, of course. As always, I'm going to be muting everybody. Well, I'll stop for questions. Please come off mute. This is supposed to be interactive. I love hearing from you. And let me know if I missed anything. So what I want to talk about tonight is more kind of about the theory and like things that I see mermaids struggling with, starting with knowing your limits, knowing what you actually need for diving and travel, how to pack, like the actual logistics of packing, different types of bags and suitcases. There was a great thread on the Mar Maids this week about this. Some of my secrets and tips, and then of course the question and answer at the end. So the biggest thing I see from the Mar Maids are a few core mental hurdles, and I really believe this is because we are a women's community. We struggle with some unique things that not everyone does. And the first one is that you do not have to be prepared for every situation. This is a really difficult one for moms to let go of, especially, but it is not your responsibility to take care of everyone. You need to take care of yourself. And there are people there to take care of you, so you don't have to have everything for everyone. You're probably not going to dress up. With the Mar Maids, we do like to look cute, we always say, but really simple, like light summer dresses. Nobody's wearing makeup most of the time, and we're definitely not doing our hair. And you're probably going to end up wearing the same thing every day, and it's going to be whatever you brought that's the most comfortable. And this is a lesson that I still learn every time. And a joke I always say is that sometimes I pack for the best version of myself, and that's not who goes on holiday with me. And so make sure that you have something that's fun and comfortable to wear is going to make your trip that much more enjoyable. So with that in mind, Knowing our limits. So of course, the first thing I want to talk about is your personal limits. So can you, and be honest with yourself, because the only one that this matters is with you. If you have to walk 20 minutes or half an hour in an airport, can you do it carrying 2 backpacks? Can you do it carrying 1 backpack and a rolly bag? And if you have a carry-on bag, can you lift it by yourself into the bin? A lot of stewards and airline people will not help you because they're not allowed to, and it's a work and safety hazard. So you might get help, but you have to be prepared to do everything on your own. So ask yourself these questions as you're packing. I know a lot of us put a lot of pressure on doing carry-on only. You don't have to do it. I did it for a long time. And it's great for a lot of reasons, but it is very physically challenging. So just be honest with yourself as you're preparing. And then, of course, you need to know your provider limits. And the thing that a lot of people don't realize or is difficult for them to understand is that US travel is not the global standard, and TSA is only in the US. That one, I feel a lot of people don't realize, but TSA is specific to the US. So the same rules do not apply all over the world. And you need to know where you're going and the limits of where you're going and the airline you're going with. So for example, something that I see a lot when I'm traveling in Central America and I'm traveling in Asia is you don't get a carry-on. It's a personal item and a checked bag free, but no carry-on. Sometimes you can add a carry-on, sometimes you can't. The planes are just too small. So that's what's something important to look up before you're traveling. If you're going with Mar Maids trips, we provide all this information for you on the trip hubs, which is very convenient. But for your research, check weight restrictions. The general standard I do find is 23 kilos. In the US, that converts to about 50 pounds, more or less. Sometimes it's 55, sometimes it's 65. But, and then again, especially Central American airlines, I see weight restrictions of 15 kilos and 30 kilos, which is what, 30 pounds and 70. So it's different for every airline. In North America and Central America, I have not found that they weigh your carry-ons, but in Asia they do. And I know in our Africa group, I think those hoppers did too. Qatar Airlines is famous for this. And the common limit for your combined personal item and carry-on is 7 pounds or 7 kilos, but 14 pounds, which is not very much, right? So that's something important to know too, depending on what trip you're planning for. And then this is my favorite fact that a lot of people don't know is that most airlines have the specialty item exception, and fins qualify. You do not have to fit your fins inside your bags. You can strap them to the outside of your bag. And I've done that all over the world on every airline, all these little hoppers and everything. The only time it's ever come up as a problem is for the little 10-seater Cessnas in Belize. When you're flying the little island hoppers, then you have to put them inside the undercarriage. But in my experience, they're very good about it and they'll just put them in for you. You can strap them. Last time I just handed them to the guy as you're getting on the plane. It's like a bus, right? As you're getting on the plane, I just handed them to him and then he handed me back at the end. And that was only because the flight was full. Otherwise, I haven't had to do that. And know your mental limits. This has been a very hard one for me because, as you'll see later, I did travel carry-on only for 2 years, and it is great, but it is exhausting. You have to be very, very organized, and everything has to go in the exact same place every time, whether it's dirty or clean or slightly damp or whatever. And so something you need to know for yourself too is, can you spend the time after a dive trip, after you've been diving all week, can you organize everything exactly how you got it there so that it fits? Or do you need a little extra space to what I call messy pack? And I call it my bus pack too. So when I fly, I have to be very careful, but when I take the bus, I have like 7 bags and nothing's organized. And I just kind of, actually it goes into my mesh bag for my dive gear. I just throw stuff in there and it goes under the bus. So having options is really helpful. Kristen, I really appreciate your face is the biggest one, and she's like nodding along and chatting, and I really appreciate it. Thank you. Um, Post-trip realities. Will your stuff be 100% dry on your way home? No, absolutely not. Never happened to me one time. And so keep that in mind. The biggest culprit, as we all know, is dive booties. They are never dry when you leave from a dive trip. When we were leaving Philippines in May, it was pouring rain for days. So nothing was dry, which means it's going to make your bag smell for one, but also it's heavier. So you have to keep that in mind. So my pro tip there is I put my boots, my dive boots inside my fins, and then I carry them on so they don't at least stink up the rest of my bag. Will you have the time and energy to repack perfectly at the end of a trip? And of course, do you want to shop? Do you want to bring back souvenirs or like get that cute dress that we found on the beach? Do you want to have a little bit of extra space for spontaneity? So those are kind of the like mental framework that I use for preparing to pack for my trips. And then it comes down to what do you actually need? So no matter how many flights I take, I still get pre-flight anxiety. It doesn't matter how many times you're in an airport. And so something that helps me is I just go, okay, I have my passport. Yes. I have my laptop. Yes. Do I need anything else? Like really, I can survive with those two things and everything else is fine. So what do you really need for a dive trip? Um, what is the most important? Obviously, it's a dive trip. So the first thing is going to be the dive gear, right? But even that has a hierarchy that I'll go over later. Then the dive clothes, because we need to be able to dive. And then your accessories, flashlights, cameras, whatever. Then self-care, especially hair care, skincare products, comfy clothes, and then obviously the least important to me, if you haven't noticed, is regular clothes. That's what I consider the lowest priority on a trip. And then the order of importance, this is very personal, very general, and this is for me. You'll have to make your own list. But for me, I start with computer, mask, fins, rag, BCD, accessories. That's my order of importance. And this is important. The reason I'm going through this is going to tell you not only what you're going to pack, but how you're going to pack it. We're going to talk about that, but your most important things obviously go with you on the plane in your personal item or your carry-on. But also the stuff below on the list, as you run out of space, that's the stuff that doesn't come with you. Dive clothes, minimum 2 swimsuits, 2 rash guard sets, and exposure protection. This is very location specific. If you're going to Galapagos, your 5 mil is like utmost priority that goes with you, right? But if I'm going to the Caribbean, like doesn't really matter. I don't need to bring, if I can't fit my 3 mil, you can rent them from a shop and you'll be fine. And then for clothes, your travel outfit, your lounging around outfit, and a dinner outfit. Those are the 3 that I would make sure I have for every trip. Some fun and useful things for divers are a mesh gear bag. I always travel with one, just to keep stuff from getting lost, honestly. A lot of times shops pick up our gear for us and take it back, keeps it all together. As I mentioned, if I'm traveling on a bus, then I will use that gear bag to pack more things. I'm usually on my damp things into. A wash bag or rinse bucket, I'm going to tell you about that. Those are my favorite things. A poncho or a boat coat. I don't really feel there's a situation where you need both. I think this is for me, it's a one or the other. If you are in a warmer place, poncho all the way. If you're in a place where you're going to need to warm up on the boat, boat coat all the way, and then it can act as your poncho. For me, my personal philosophy. But I do always take at least one of those things. A very important thing for me, especially with carry-on travel, is everything I have has to do more than one thing. So all of my dive gear is crossover gear. I dive in running shorts. I wear my waterless to yoga. Like it's all can do multiple things. And this has been my favorite thing in 2025. My friend gave me this life straw in Thailand in January, and I have used it nonstop around the world. You can take any water out of any tap anywhere. I've used it in bathrooms in Belize, in Asia. And because it's a soft-sided bag, I just flip it upside down and fill my water bottle with it. And so this has been my favorite thing in 2025. Self-care. This is important. Hair products for dealing with the salt and sun. Leave-in conditioner. We love our Stream to See. Skin moisturizers and sunscreen. I just bought today because as soon as I get to drier climates, I was in Baja and now I'm back home in Canada, I get eczema like instantly. And so I have to have I got like a barrier cream today to taking care of my hands. And then this was also my 2025 goal, was to take better care of myself. I now carry protein powder, my vitamins. I have been taking a yoga mat and resistance bands everywhere. So yeah, self-care is important as well. And then these are the things that I always question when packing, like, do I actually need them? And these are location specific and accommodation specific. So towels, a lot of places we stay with Mar Maids trips, a lot of them give you both a shower towel and a beach towel. So like, do I need to pack my own towel? Probably not. Long pants and sleeves. This is big for places there's bugs, but usually you have either bugs or cooler nights. So you probably need long pants and sleeves, but do you need linen because it's hot and buggy, or do you need like a little bit more wind protection? Usually I use my plain clothes or my pants and long sleeve shirts. Etiquette and style for meals. Liveaboards are very different from land-based. So if you're on a liveaboard, pretty much generally anything goes. It's a very different social situation there. Whereas maybe we're staying in a fancier hotel and you're expected to wear, like, cover your shoulders for dinner or something, or like Maldives, different cultures where you do have to cover your shoulders when you go out. Knowing the cultural, the culture for wherever we go is important. Extra land excursions, for example, the safaris they're doing in Africa right now. In Costa Rica, we do like a national park where at the gate they check your shoes and you cannot enter without closed-toed shoes. So that's something that is very specific to that trip. And then power and water limitations. This is for the comfort items. For example, Cabo Pulmo, the whole town runs on solar power and like water collection. Don't bring a hair dryer. Like, don't bring extra things that need more power. For one, you're not going to use it, but also the community doesn't have the power to sustain those kinds of things. Does anyone have any questions so far? Take a little break. So far, so good. All right, cool. So as I said, that's kind of my theory for how I approach packing. And now we're going to move into actual packing strategies and logistics. I'm just going to go over mine, and then in the question and answer, I'd love to hear from you guys, like, what your strategies are. But for lack of a better name, I don't have anything better to call it yet. I call it the baggie system. Everything that I take with me goes in a bag. I really, really, really hate loose stuff, and I get really overwhelmed by it. And Myra always teases me because she's like, Chev, you have so many little things. Like, everything I have is little, and I have like a little my USB, and I have a little sunscreen, and I have a little like face oil. But everything I have is little, but it goes in its bag. So the example I have here, this is my tech kit, and in my scuba themed bag, of course. But it's got my 2 torches, my DJI camera, my microphone set, my 3-pack battery for my DJI. These are rechargeable flashlight batteries, an extra mouth piece. This is a cool little tool I got randomly somewhere, but it's like a multi-tool. It's a bottle opener, a screwdriver, and like a random things. My multi-tool for the tanks, double ender, zip ties, and that's the little dry sticks for the camera housing. So all that stuff goes into one baggie because it's all related. It's also a baggie that goes in my carry-on because the lithium-ion batteries, everything there is battery related. I also have one for toiletries, and I use the big reusable silicone Ziplocs. I actually have one right here. My mom got me uh, cute fruit ones. So I have about 6 of these. This is the medium sized one, and then I have the big size and the baby ones. And the baby one, I have one that's a first aid kit. And then I have another one that's my washing sheets. And then the big one is my toiletry bag. So I have a big one that has all of my face oils. I use solid shampoo and conditioner from Everest, which is a Canadian brand. My like powder, leave-in shampoo, toothbrush, everything goes into this bag, and then it just gets plopped into my suitcase. Electronics I talked about. Lithium ion batteries is really important. I don't know if you guys know why, but a few years ago, one of the Samsung phones started catching fire in the air. And ever since then, there's been more and more rechargeable lithium ion electronics catching fire in the sky. And so that's why you're no longer allowed them in your checked bag, because they want them to be visible. Obviously, if they catch fire, they can do something about it in the cabin, whereas if it's in the undercarriage. And they're very strict about this in different places. In Bangkok, my dad had a carry-on or had a checked bag with his GoPro in it, and they flagged it and pulled him off of the like we're lining up to get on the plane. They pulled him out of the boarding line to get his GoPro out of his checked bag because it had the battery in it. So places can be really strict about that, and for a good reason. And now you know why. I have a dive accessories bag. That's another one of the silicone bags, and that actually goes with me on the boat. And it's got my backup dive computer, chapstick, one of my tiny things, a tiny sunscreen, little silicone lube, my defog, and my baby torch goes in that. And then compression bags are your friends. I have one big compression bag for my dive clothes, one for my dry clothes, and then a little smaller one that I put all my underwear and bikinis in. So that's my baggie strategy. Giving yourself a limit. So my limit is my compression bag. Whatever I can fit into that bag, I'm allowed to take. And I take that challenge very seriously. And I'm always trying to do more. So if you don't know, a compression bag is like just like a zipper bag, but it has a second zipper around to squeeze it. So you can open it up and have it full size, and then you zipper it again and it crushes everything. There's also like vacuum sealed ones, but that's another thing you have to carry is the little vacuum. So I use the zippers. This is a picture of what I took to Thailand. I've got 2 little long sleeve lightweights, a t-shirt. This is a long sleeve open like button up, tank top, 2 t-shirts, 2 tank tops. Those are my shorts, and these were my fancy dress for going out and my lounge clothes here. And that's drive clothes. Yeah. This is my dive clothes. And as I said, I take at least 3 of everything, so you always have something dry. Everything has to be multi-purpose. This is me doing yoga in my waterlust in Philippines. And I also take this folding yoga mat with me. I always want something dry. And so here I've got my 4 rash guards, 3 tights, 2 shorts. These are 3 pairs of socks. These are my tops. I've got 2 waterlust tops, and this was like a generic black, like racer back. 3 bikinis, and this is like a surf suit thing that was the rash guard and shorts. So how to pack your most delicate items. Remember we talked about the hierarchy of what's most important and what do you actually need? Here is why. Because in your personal item, I put the most important things to me. So my plane comforts, which I'll show you. I call it my plane pouch, and it's a little Ziploc I actually got from Philippines Air. And I put in a couple bags of tea, hand sanitizer, makeup wipe, Sometimes on long hauls, I take a mask, a face mask to do too. Chapstick, a protein bar, electrolytes, and gum. The biggest win for me this year was staying hydrated on flights, and the jet lag was almost non-existent. And so that is so important and something I focused on. Again, why the life straw saved me so much, because once you're past security, if you couldn't find a water fill station, then I could get water still. So that's my little thing. Dive computer, of course. I wear mine, but if you have like the Peregrine or anything, make sure it's in your backpack. I keep 2 days of clothes in my personal item. It also helps pad my like home office and stuff. And a bikini and underwear and stuff goes in my personal item. All your medications, if you have anything important that you take, that goes in with you. And also my dive mask comes with me in my personal item. So my 2 days of clothes is a swimsuit, rash guard, and 2 outfits. Another little hack that I forgot to add later, my mom made me this neck pillow last year, and it's empty. It's just the shell. And I put 2 or 3 outfits in there to use as my neck pillow. So it's like a bit of overflow space. But also when you're doing long hauls, like I had like 4 flights that took like 26 hours. I changed clothes, changed underwear, like, oh, brushed my teeth. It is absolutely life-changing when you're on a plane for 14 hours to be able to do that. So that's another little secret. In your carry-on, so your personal item goes under your seat, right? Carry-on, I put all my electronics and battery items in there, compression bags, bins, and if you're going carry-on only, all your other stuff goes in there. This has been my system this year because I have checked a bag this year. My carry-on has been this dry bag. It's a 25-liter dry bag, and it has a laptop sleeve in it. So it's been my boat bag, my surf bag, and then also my day bag. When I go work in cafes and stuff, I take it with me to pack all my stuff. So it's my everything bag, and also folds completely flat. So if I don't have a carry-on, it can fit in my suitcase. But if I need the extra space, then I can take it as my second item on the plane. Those are my fins. My mom made those fin covers for me. And it's great. Aren't they cute? And it really protects them from getting scuffed up on the plane, which I've appreciated. This is my setup when I went to Galapagos last year. I did 12 days, I think. Yeah. A week-long live aboard, and then I spent another 6 days island hopping by myself around. And I took this wheelie carry-on bag and my personal item. Both my personal item, this backpack and this one, are from a brand called Core Surf. I'll send you guys the link. They're made in California. They're waterproof. This personal item is that same picture from here. I took this picture this morning, and I've had it for a year and a half now. I travel all over with it. I love it. It's waterproof. It's done really, really well for me. Fins buckled into the side, like I said. And yeah, just to show you that you can do it, this is for 12 days in the Galapagos, which means I took my weight pockets and a 5 mil or 4 mil wetsuit, and all my stuff are in those 2 bags, and my laptop, like everything is in there. So it's definitely possible. It's heavy, but it's possible. And checked bag, this has been my checked bag this year. Anything you can live without goes in your checked bags. If you don't absolutely need it, then it goes in your checked bag. BCD, I usually put in my checked compression bags of clothes and comfort items. I forgot something really important. I just realized your regulator needs to go with you on your carry-on for 2 reasons. One being it's very expensive and you should keep it with you. And the second one being that the change in pressure and temperature of the undercarriage can cause your O-rings on your regulators to dry out quickly. So I have some tech diving friends that were having to change their O-rings on their regulators every time they flew, and they couldn't figure out why, and then figured out why, and it was because of the temperature changes. Some brands are more susceptible than others, so kind of up to you, but I always carry my regulator in my carry-on. And I take it out when going through security. Save yourself the trouble. Just take it out. Have it somewhere easily packed, usually on top of the top of my bag, and I just take it out before it goes through security. If you don't, it looks very suspicious in the X-ray, and I almost always get flagged to get it taken apart. And then they go, "Oh, it's scuba gear," and I'm like, "Yeah, I know." And then they go through. So that, especially if you're in a hurry, just take it out of the bag. It helps so much. So this is just a recap. If you wanted to screenshot this or anything for future reference. Personal item, most important stuff. Carry on, of course, also most important. The personal item, I say most delicate because like I carry a second screen for my home office, and I put it in my carry-on up top, and I cracked it just from moving it up and down there. So now it goes in my personal item, so I can be more careful with it. And then I kind of mentioned this, my pro tip, pack a personal item and a checked bag going down, and then have an extra bag you can use for carry-on coming back. And then you can have a little bit of room for that messy packing or shopping or whatever, or both. Cool. Any questions about that? Packing logistics? Super fun. Cool. Types of bags. So someone asked me the brand I mentioned, Core Surf. I really like them. And there's Cotopaxi as well. I know Lori's a Cotopaxi, or Tracy's a Cotopaxi gal. She has some really nice bags. But there's Core one. It looks like this on the inside. And so one big compartment, and then the two zipper ones here. What I like about the Core one is it's got another pocket here. It's got these clips here that I put my water bottle to sometimes, or my speaker on the outside. And then on the back where the straps go, it's padded, and it has two secret zippers there, so you can put like a passport pocket in. And then it also has the strap where you can like slide it onto a rolly bag to let it be more secure. So that's cool. This one of the girls that came to Cabo had this bag. I really liked it. The Tolakea, I think it's called. And that's pretty cool. It's kind of like this, but double. And the laptop goes on the inside. And then it has the side buckles, which I really appreciate, on the sides here for your fins, which would be much nicer. She really loves it. It also has a waistband, I think, which is what the Core is sorely missing. But the Tolakia is not personal item size. It's too tall, so it would be a carry-on for sure. But still cool. So I just kind of a guideline. My is 28 liters, I think, or 25. One of them is 28, one of them is 25. And that's kind of the max you can get away with for a personal item. After that, they get more into carry-on bag territory. Yeah. Checked bag. This is always a big discussion because there's a lot of really great scuba dive bags, or I feel like there should be, there isn't. But be very careful. I do not recommend getting a branded scuba bag because it's like advertising that you've got a bunch of very expensive gear in there. So general rule, make it as unobnoxious as possible. But the Sakona Terrapin, I did look it up. It was recommended on the Mar Maids last week. And it's very unassuming on the outside. It's just a black suitcase. But someone was saying they really loved this one. Osprey, I really like as a brand, but their backpacks are kind of egg-shaped, and I don't like that. It distributes the weight weirdly, and it doesn't work for going under the seat or the check bin because they kind of like curve on top, in my experience. But their suitcases are great. So this is one of their rolly bags. And then, of course, just getting a generic one. I just got a generic Samsonite suitcase. They're very unassuming again. But the most important thing with a checked bag is to look for something that doesn't weigh very much on its own. Some of these bags, like the Akona is terrible for this. Osprey's not bad, but some of the Akonas on their own weigh like 10 pounds. And so then you're limiting what your overall weight can be. The Osprey are cool because a lot of them are convertible into a shoulder bag in an emergency. So like if you are all of a sudden having to walk up and down stairs for a couple blocks, you um, can take out the straps and put them on and be able to carry it up and down in a pinch. But one thing I do recommend is look for durable materials. Don't get a cheap one. I know luggage is stupidly expensive, but cheap ones will die very quickly with your gear. And to rinse them after your trips, because even though you don't really think so, they are getting salt on them from being around. A lot of the places we stay, like it's in the air, like, you know, even in your rooms and stuff, there's mist from the sea and everything. So the zippers go pretty quickly. So I actually treat my zippers on all my bags with just a little bit of like coconut oil or shea butter, or beeswax is the best. If you can get like a bar of beeswax and rub them on, or surf wax, whatever, and just run your zippers with it whenever you can. Really goes a long way, especially on that waterproof bag that goes on the boat. It has like a waterproof front zip. I make sure that I treat that as much as possible. I've got a few more tips for you. This one being one of my favorite things. Someone mentioned this today on the Facebook page, but I do carry this scrubba bag with me. I've had it for like 8 years now. And I just saw it's got a tiny hole in it and like water was spraying out, but I've carried it for 8 years. They're an Australian camping bag, and it's got a silicone washboard on the inside. So this is like glued onto one side. It's just a dry bag. You put your clothes, you put your water, and then I use this True Earth biodegradable laundry. They're the strips, a little piece of one of those, and then you push out all the air and you scrub, and you wash your clothes, then you dump it, and then you rinse with fresh water. And then I just have my clothesline and I hang them up. Myra does a very similar thing, but she uses the bucket. This is like a collapsible bucket. And I wash all my dive stuff, all my swimsuits, and on my underwear. I have a lot of like sportswear stuff that can't be put in the dryer. And so all of that I wash with this, because most places like in Mexico and stuff where you get your laundry done, it's hard to find coin laundry, and you just send it to a service and then it's like going to be dried. So I do all of my delicate stuff this way. Love it. A lot of people have the Scuba Pro Hydros, and a lot of people don't know that it came with this waistband. You can take off, it's so easy to take off the weight pockets and put on the simple waistband here. And if you are diving with like less than 6 pounds, then you don't need the weight pockets. You can use the trim pockets in the back, or you can use a weight belt. And so this was a game changer for me, because those pockets on the Scuba Pro are huge. If anyone has seen them, they're huge and they're not that useful. Side note, I saw today Scuba Pro launched at DEMA the Hydros 2, and it's got weight pockets that are this big on the waistband. So super exciting. And they're releasing it on December 2nd for any gear nerds. But this was a very big game changer for me. Also, you can buy separately a crotch strap for Scuba Pro, and I'm going to be getting that soon because the tank strap is so high. I find the tank lifts, and the crotch strap helps with that. So anyway, strap your fins. I mentioned this already, but your fins do not have to fit inside your bag. They can be attached outside. This is the Hydros backpack that it comes with. This is so cool, so close to a good idea. The Hydros backpack is a personal item. It's tapered and it has a square base and then tapered front. I could fit my Hydros, a wetsuit, my regulator, my boots, and everything, my mask in there, and the fins on the outside, and it was a personal item. Like, that's wild. But the backpack is terrible. It's great shape, but it has no support, no structure, and not super well made. So it's like excruciatingly painful to carry. It's heavy. The Hydros weighs 11 pounds by itself, plus all the other stuff I just said, and has no chest strap and no waist belt. So it's a great idea that was just not executed super great. And then here you can see I walked to the ferry. I fit all my gear in that 28-liter backpack that has my hydros, my rag, rash guard, mask, everything, and then my fins on the outside when I went from Playa to Cozumel for the day. And then here I just wanted to show you a super weird picture, but those are my fins tucked under the seat on a plane. And that's it. That's all my packing stuff. I know it was a lot. I talked for 43 minutes. I apologize. But I hope that was informative for you. I like talking about the stuff. Please let me know if you have questions. I saw Candy made a couple comments here. Let me check. Yeah, Mary, my dry bag was core. I mentioned that. I know. Okay, we can all petition my mom. I told her I could get her so many Mar Maids clients to make these socks for my fins, and she's too much of a perfectionist, but I think we could petition her because they're so great. And Candy, you use the baggie system? Yeah. So mine, they are clear. These ones are too.
Yeah, for everything. Everything goes in a clear bag, and it just makes it so much easier to just, it's like, oh, there's the thing right there. I just dip a finger in and I pull it out.
Mm-hmm. It's like, I call it like my junk drawer. It's like, I know what the theme is, but I don't just throw it all in there. Yeah. Melissa's going to go to Cozumel. Carry on only. Woohoo! Yeah. So this is the thing with carry on only. I got stuck. So I have a suitcase for the first time ever this year. And I was coming back from Malaysia, and I had 7 hours in Vancouver Airport, which is the worst freaking airport in Canada. It is ridiculous. And I landed late at night, and the lounges were all closed. I had to switch from international to domestic, and they would not open the bag drop until 4 a.m. And so I couldn't go through security again. And so that's when I really missed my carry-on only, because I was stuck sitting outside of security where there was no seating, no restaurants, no nothing for 5 hours. It was super fun overnight. I can't hear you, Melissa. Sorry. Oh. Just gonna vacuum pack her clothes. That's cool. Did you get one of the vacuum packs with the pumps, Melissa? No. Is it the rolly kind? Yeah, okay, we're gonna play charades still, I guess. So there's a couple types of vacuum packs. There's the ones that you've probably seen on Instagram and stuff. They have a little pump that they come with, an electric pump, and they suction it all out. Or there's ones that you roll and push the air out.
Yeah, it's the ones that out there. It's the ones that I'm just gonna just pump out all the air. It's got that little, I don't know, like valve thing that you just will push out all the air, and that's it. I've got that 1 hour layover in Toronto Pearson. Guaranteed it's not going to make the flight, and so yeah,
it's winter in Canada.
It's winter in Canada. It's like I can most guarantee it will not make the flight, and so there you have it. Yeah,
cool. Thanks for sharing. Well, I'm proud of you. That's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Candy also washes her clothes in a dry bag. It works great.
Yeah, I just and rinse your gear too. Just I have a 30-liter. Just fill up with water, put my stuff in there, and rinse it, and then I can haul it all out, wash my clothes, and then you still have your dry bag.
That's awesome. Life Straw is on sale at REI. It is Black Friday. I will, when I publish the YouTube video tomorrow, I'm going to publish a list of all the stuff I mentioned, so you can have links and everything, Jen. I'll link to the Life Straw. I'll link to the packs I use.
The core, the bags.
Yeah, I love it. Alana, did you end up ordering one? She was asking about it.
I haven't ordered it yet. I wanted to do this call first, honestly, and get other ideas too, just to have a good set of options. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Kristen, did you have a question? Sorry.
Chev, what size is your life straw?
I got the Peak series. Yeah. Kristen, we can't hear you if you're what microphone permissions? Kim sent the link for REI. Thank you. Oh, are you there? Nope, not yet. I did not share my fancy purse, Terry. Kristen, want to play charades with me too?
Chev, one of the things I like to do is that everything, like I know you use the shampoo bars. I have shampoo bars, conditioner bars, sunscreen bars, bugs, stuff bars. I even have moisturizer bars. I mean, like everything is if I can get it in a bar form or a salve form, so I don't have any liquids.
Yeah, it makes such a difference for weight too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, can you hear me?
We got her. We got Kristen. Yeah.
How do you pack your regulator in your backpack so that it doesn't get damaged?
This is a good question. I really have not found a regulator bag that I like because they're just awkward and bulky, and I don't think they're designed well either. Like my first aid does not fit well in there. So the short answer is I don't. But I do. So I found these really cool second stage covers that are like a Velcro stretchy cover that go around your second stage to protect those. And then I just put it in a cloth bag. So like, you know, the ones that your sheets come in or like the little backpacks, I just put it in that. And then I put it in my personal item, usually with my clothes. And I just pack my clothes around it.
Okay. Yeah. Will you send the link for the strap for the second stage that you use, the little wrap?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, awesome.
Oh, yeah. See if I can find that for sure. I saw that on Instagram a couple months ago. That's how I found them. Yeah. The algorithm works.
By the way, Stream to Sea now has a I believe a shampoo bar, and they also have one for color treated hair.
No. Because she has been talking about this for years. She has been talking about working on her, how do you call it?
I swear I saw that. I read that somewhere.
Because I love her shampoo, but I used to buy it in like the 1 liter pump.
The body wash, the shampoo body wash one?
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Sorry, Lydia, go ahead.
Sorry.
Hi, I'm Lydia. A couple things. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I've used packing cubes, just the regular old school ones, and I got a pink set, and then I lost my luggage, got lost, and I bought a second set, and then they found my luggage, so I have a pink and a red. And what I do with the packing cubes is I put all my girly clothes, my regular stuff, and the pink one, and then with the red packing cubes, I put my dyed stuff, and I have a one, and I put my reg in it. And it has a little handle, and I just don't put that in the check bag. And that little soft-sided vinyl reg bag makes me feel more comfortable moving my reg around. Another thing I always is a silver Sharpie, because everyone has all the same stuff.
Yes.
You will get in a cat fight if you think somebody's got your shirt on. Okay? You know, how do you say, excuse me, that looks like the shirt I just wore, you know.
Excuse me, that's my mask. Yeah.
Whenever I buy anything new, this is part of the ritual. Let me put my name on it. But I just pack it because if somewhere somebody is going to. And then the third little thing is that I have the life straw too, and I use it when I go to third world. There's places that are pretty, like a Bonaire, I didn't take it because, you know, you can drink the tap water. But I don't think this is enough, because I also just take a water bottle that has a cover and a lid that I travel and hydrate and on the boat, and you're gonna always
absolutely.
And so I couldn't take this.
No,
I mean, it doesn't work on the boat, but this definitely works in the third world.
Yeah, so I take that, and I have that same one, and I use it to fill this, so that
you filter it. Okay.
And okay, Lenita, could you do me a favor? Could you unscrew I learned this yesterday and it blew my mind. Can you unscrew the filter from that? Yeah.
The filter's not even in it.
Oh, it's not? Okay.
But
So the filter, if you take the filter out, yeah, on the bottom, show us the bottom. That is designed to go over a water bottle, over a plastic bottle. I know, that was my face.
okay, so just by itself,
That
stuck
by
in a
itself
water bottle,
screws onto a plastic water bottle.
and
And then you have the mouthpiece.
take the part on, and then okay, good to
Isn't that
know.
wild? So you can refill a plastic water bottle and through that filter. Yeah, mind blown. So cool. That's the Peak series from Life Straw, on sale at REI near you. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree with Pam. My Amazon wish list and my Christmas wish list is I'm mentally updating it as this call is going on.
I made a cute little thing on Canva of a packing list, and I'll send that with the YouTube link tomorrow. So, yeah. Yes, they are affiliate links. Thank you, Terry. I will put the disclaimer on it, but I have affiliate links for the Mar Maids, all of the stuff on our gear page. We are a Stream to See affiliate too, and Waterlust. But yes, if you can support us, that would be great. We're also an Amazon associate, but that's basically meaningless. But yeah, there's definitely going to be Black Friday sales, Cyber Monday, all of that stuff for all those things. Waterlust does not, but yeah. Yeah, great questions, guys. Girls.
Any sale on Mar Maids gear?
Yeah. I wonder, we have some, I think there's still some tights to get rid of, but Myra and Clarence are both in Africa, so we don't have time for that. Like,
Yeah, not right now.
yeah. Myra gets home on Sunday and Clarence leaves like tomorrow or something. Yeah.
Chev, you were talking about your compression bags and that it was a double compression bag. Those I haven't seen because the compression bags that I have, they're just one bag, and yours is like a double layer.
It's 2 zippers. So I use, Leah was talking about their colors. I use Thule. They are the best compression bags, the THULE brand. They're a bit expensive, but they're so worth it. And so it's 1 zipper on top for stuffing, and then a secondary zipper that compresses, that squishes everything down. But they also have one that is double-sided, and it's for dirty and clean clothes, which I also really love. And so it's got like a layer in between the zippers. So still 2 zippers, but instead of all open, it's 2 layers, and you've got like clean and dirty side.
Okay, so TULEY.
THULE.
Oh, THULE. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Thule. Okay, like the bicycles and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay.
The roof. Oh, I think of the roof racks.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've got the bicycle rack for that. Okay, great. Okay, thanks.
For Quebec. Yeah.
Yeah.
I bicycled through Quebec.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Kim is going on her first trip in December. Do you need a computer? Okay. You have to have a dive computer. A laptop is not necessary. So whichever one you're talking about. I definitely would not dive without a dive computer. Yeah, perfect. I take my laptop because I work remotely, so that's why I have mine. But what I did actually, I have this USB is a terabyte, believe it or not. And I have another thing, not in arm's reach, but it's a SD card reader with a USB-C plug. So you can plug it into your phone and you can just drop all your files off onto your phone from your card. So you definitely don't need to bring your laptop, Kim, especially if you're just going for a little bit. And it's much faster than waiting for like the GoPro app to sync everything, especially in the Wi-Fi. I haven't been to Bonaire, but Curacao was not stellar. So, yeah.
On-air Wi-Fi was perfect. You could
Yeah.
get it almost everywhere.
You can get it. It just wasn't strong enough for uploading all the photos. That was mine. Cool. Well, if you have any other questions, feel free to pop them in.
I'm looking on Amazon right now on those compression how do you say it?
It's Thule, yeah. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
THULE. There's Black Friday deals going on right now.
Perfect. Love it.
Love it.
Love it.
Thank you,
Awesome.
chefs.
Thank you. I don't have a plan for December yet. Myra will be back next week. We might take the month off and come back in the new year, but we'll let you know for sure. Make sure you're following Scuba Mar Maids Dive School on Facebook. And I try and post in the Mar Maids as much as I can too. Keep in touch. This is where you can find us. I'm on Instagram at Chef Strolls, Myra, of course, and our Mar Maids. And then just so you know too, like we do these every month. We've been doing them for 1.5 years. So we've got quite a backlog of videos. Most of them were free, and I posted them all on our YouTube channel, Mar Hosted Trips on YouTube. So if you want to check out any of the stuff we've done in the past, last month we did a call on travel hacking. That was really cool with Jess. So I recommend checking that out, because we're going to do a follow-up one in January, February, I think. So thank you so much for being here, ladies. This was super fun. I appreciate you coming and putting my hard work to good use and all your questions and stuff. I really appreciate it.
Can you
Thanks,
go
Sarah.
to this page where the contact information was?
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm
It's
going
always good to hear from you, girl.
to Italy next
You're
year.
going to Italy? Oh,
Yes.
lovely.
So I'm kind of nervous and scared because it's the first time I'm diving without my dive buddy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like my 27th dive, so I'm still kind of new.
Awesome. Oh, it'll be great. That's going to be a really fun trip.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It'll
So
be-
I'm leaning and contacting and reaching out, but
Of course.
meeting
We're
the
around.
ladies.
You're
I-
welcome.
I'm
I'm working on your trip hub, and it'll be published like next week, I think, for Italy. So that'll help too. There'll be a lot more info coming
Perfect.
out.
Thank you so much. Nice meeting you all.
Nice seeing
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. For those in the US, have a good Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's right. Thanks.
Sorry. Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Bye.